Okay, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. And this video is another WWE video. And this video will be on the cusp of my last year's video around the same time of the WWE Superstar Shakeup. Now this year is 2019. It's been a while since I did a WWE video. This will be my first one. I don't know if I might do any more. I'm not sure. But this will be the Superstar Shakeup. A lot of things has changed. We have one undisputed champion. We have new champions. And the whole landscape of WWE is changing as we know it. And with that being said, this will be my predictions of who I think will be moved from show to show. Who will be moved from Raw to SmackDown, SmackDown from Raw. And as you know, in the round of WWE Superstar Shakeup time, they like to do weird things. I'm just going to book it to the way that I think it should be. Superstars that should be moved and that'll be put in a better situation than they are currently in at the moment. So, with all that being said, let's get into this video. Alright, we're going to kick off the predictions with the Monday Night Raw side. And as you all know, after WrestleMania, we have new champions from Monday Night Raw. We have the new Universal Champion, the Beast Slayer, Seth Rollins. We have the new Raw Tag Team Champions, the Major Brothers, the formerly known Major Brothers, Hawkins and Ryder. And we have the newly crowned Intercontinental Champion, who was once Intercontinental Champion about 2.5 or 3 weeks ago, Finn Balor, after defeating Bobby Lashley, using his demon persona at WrestleMania. And that is our list of champions. Okay guys, my first superstar I have moving from SmackDown Live on his way to Monday Night Raw is Shinsuke Nakamura. Now the reason I say Shinsuke Nakamura, since he debuted on SmackDown Live, he had a good run for about up until WrestleMania 34. And after WrestleMania 34, he did his feud with AJ Styles and has been nowhere. He won the US Championship, that went nowhere. Lost it and teamed up with Rusev. Now they're in a tag team, which they should not be in a tag team. Those are just two guys thrown together because they have no direction, or WWE has no creative ways for them. You have to get Shinsuke away from Rusev. Put him on Raw, give him a fresh start. Maybe he can challenge Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship, because you're going to need more superstars in order to challenge Seth Rollins. It can't just be Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. It can't be guys like that. It can't just be a specific set of guys. It can be a bunch of different guys that Seth Rollins can have great matches with. This way you give Shinsuke a breath of fresh air. You freshen him up. You give him new matchups. And hopefully you can just don't put him in no tag team. Let him do a single thing. Turn him back babyface. And then we can have a good Nakamura run. The next set of superstars I would bring over from SmackDown would be the Usos. The Usos recently just lost the tag team titles against the Hardys last week. And let's face facts, they have done everything they have to do, or that's needed to be done on SmackDown Live. So you put them on Monday Night Raw. Hopefully they get matches with AOP once AOP gets healthy. You put heavy machinery in the ring with the Usos. It doesn't matter who's in the ring with the Usos. The Usos can get a good match out of any tag team. They've proven that they are the best tag team in WWE today. And you put them over on Monday Night Raw because Monday Night Raw needs help in their tag team division. So you will be seeing them versus the Major Brothers in the future. And the next superstar, you should already know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Being that the Usos are going to Monday Night Raw in this predictions, you have to have Naomi move over to Monday Night Raw also. Because wherever the Usos go, Naomi has to go. So, we're going to get Naomi on Monday Night Raw. Hopefully get her to feud with Becky after Becky's done with Lacey Evans. And we can get a good title program between Naomi and Becky Lynch, heading into maybe Extreme Rules or something like that. We're also going to be having a winner of the Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania, Carmella, moving on to Monday Night Raw. Just because she needs a change of scenery. She's been on SmackDown since the first brand split. So just get her off of SmackDown and give her a breath of fresh air. Most of these pits are a breath of fresh air, so you can get them off their current brand because they've been there for so long. And from NXT, I have Kairi Sane moving up to the main roster, joining the Red brand, and she would be on Monday Night Raw. She recently just lost to Shayna Baszler, and that match was her last match, her last shot at getting the NXT Championship match. So that means she will be moving up to the main roster doing a Superstar Shakeup. I have her moving into Monday Night Raw. Okay, the next superstar I have moving to the Red brand. I'm kind of iffy on this move because two superstars can affect his momentum or his push or his status on this brand. And the superstar I'm talking about is Luke Harper. Now, I don't know why WWE doesn't realize the potential in Luke Harper. It's not like he's getting any younger. He's 39 years old, guys. This guy has been on the shelf for months. And he recently returned at the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. Now, with this Superstar Shakeup, you have to build Luke Harper. You have to put him in that mid card. Get him. Let him compete for the title. Let him compete for the mid card title. Let's see what we can do from there. Because Luke Harper is a phenomenal talent. No pun intended. He's been wasted on a main roster pretty much his whole career, other than joining the Wyatt family. That's about it. So move Luke Harper up to the main roster. Well, he's already on the main roster. Move him up to the Red brand. If Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman stay on the Red brand, then I would say just keep Harper on the Blue brand, because you need him away from those two as much as possible. And now for the juicy parts of the Raw brand's Superstar Shakeup moves. From this move, we're going to have the United States Champion Samoa Joe move back to Monday Night Raw. Now, the reason Joe is going to be moving back to Monday Night Raw is because he's a victim of holding the mid-card title at this moment in time. What I'm predicting is going off Vince's thinking with the mid-card championships. It seems like every time it's a Superstar Shakeup, he switches the mid-card titles. One's going to go back to SmackDown, the other one's going to go back to Raw. So in this case, the US Championship is going to go to Raw, and the Intercontinental Championship is going to go to SmackDown. So you get a look into the future of my other predicted pick, which is Finn Balor. So we're going to have Joe moving on to Monday Night Raw just because he has the US Championship, and Vince just wants to switch those titles. I personally thought Joe should stay on SmackDown, but I don't make the decisions. So this prediction is based on Vince's thinking. And another juicy pick is none other than Alistair Black. Now, going into the Superstar Shakeup, we know they're going to split up Ricochet and Alistair Black. One is going to go to SmackDown and the other is going to go to Raw. Now, my predictions, I have Alistair Black going to Raw because I believe that's what's rumored so far. I'm tossed up about this move because I don't want him to get stuck clawing to the top of the mountain only for him to reach Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, and the guys who get the most attention on Monday Night Raw. But I know Alistair's going to make the best of it. He's going to put on great matches with every superstar at the top. I just hope he don't get caught up in a shuffle or missed in a shuffle and be run back down the rung of the ladder. And last but certainly not least, I have the phenomenal AJ Styles making the move from SmackDown Live over to Monday Night Raw. Now, it's been anticipated. This move has been anticipated for at least 2 years now. AJ Styles has done everything he can possibly do on the Blue brand. The Blue brand is always known as the house that AJ Styles built. He's done it all. He's been WWE Champion for almost 400 days. He beat Shinsuke Nakamura, beat Samoa Joe, feuded with Daniel Bryan, lost the title. And AJ Styles has done everything humanly possible on SmackDown Live. So he's going to make the move over to the Monday Night Raw brand. He's going to battle the likes of Seth Rollins. I believe he's going to be the first feud that Seth Rollins has for the Universal Championship. And you got Roman Reigns over there still, so we can get that matchup again. Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. So it's a lot of possibilities with AJ Styles moving over to the Red brand. So, final pick for Monday Night Raw will be the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Now, guys, it's time to head over to the land of opportunity, SmackDown Live. And the list of champions are listed here. We have newly crowned WWE Champion Kofi Kingston. Took him 11 years. Had the best story at WrestleMania. Had the best main event match at WrestleMania. It's about damn time. WWE Champion Kofi Kingston, part of the New Day. We have the US Champion Samoa Joe, who defeated Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania in under 60 seconds. And we have the newly crowned SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Hardys. And we'll get to the Women's Championship later on. So those are your list of champions right now. And ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we're going to have the first move be Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor. Because even though I like the move of Finn going to SmackDown, it's just he's the victim of having the mid-card title around a superstar shakeup. But with that being said, we throw that out the way. Finn, he needs a change of scenery. He's been on Monday Night Raw since he came up to the main roster and has done nothing really besides feud for the Intercontinental title. That's it. And his match with Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. Other than that, he's done nothing. He lost to Kane. It's been up and down with Finn, but this is where we get it right. And the next superstar I have moving from Monday Night Raw coming over to SmackDown Live. You may say that he's going to do the same thing he's doing on Monday Night Raw on SmackDown Live, but I have a completely different path that he should take. And this person would be the big man, the almighty Bobby Lashley. Now, I'm a Bobby Lashley fan. I'm a fan of the way TNA used him, why he was there, booked him as a monster, the true dominator. He became the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. On Monday Night Raw, he didn't have that chance because he ran into Roman Reigns. And when you run into Roman Reigns, things don't end out the way you pictured them. Now, people pictured him fighting against Brock Lesnar. Now, at this point, I don't believe that's ever going to happen. But this is the chance for WWE to make right on that wrong that they made when he first came back. You get him on SmackDown. You keep him away from Finn Balor. He has to come in there and destroy Kofi. He has to. There's no Big E since Big E has been hurt. Bobby Lashley had to come in there and destroy Kofi. You can let him feud with Kofi, and that can be your WWE Championship program. I'm not shoehorning him in there. I'm just saying, as a dominant factor, he can get a better opportunity on SmackDown than he has on Monday Night Raw, because they have done absolutely nothing with him. He went from bending over, showing his ass, to losing at least like 60% of his matches, teaming up with Jinder Mahal. That's not how you book Bobby Lashley. Don't forget, people, Bobby Lashley is an MMA fighter, dog. He fought in Bellator. He may not have been on the same hype as Brock Lesnar, but he's damn near close. So WWE need to make this right. Book him as a dominant monster, and you have another superstar that you can look to as a champion. Okay, guys, coming up we have our next female superstar coming off the board, coming from Monday Night Raw to SmackDown Live. Now, this superstar needs a huge breath of fresh air away from Monday Night Raw. And this superstar is Sasha Banks. Now, Sasha Banks just lost the tag team titles. Her and Bayley just lost the tag team titles at WrestleMania to the Iconics. Now, I predict that WWE should just split her and Bayley up, leave Bayley on Monday Night Raw, and put Sasha on SmackDown Live. Because with Becky being on both shows, holding both titles, SmackDown's going to need a little bit of help. Because I believe Charlotte will be heading over to Monday Night Raw once she gets back from wherever she is at. So you can have a tandem of Asuka and Sasha. That could be a good feud. Because Monday Night Raw is doing her no favors. She has been totally wasted for the last year. She feuded with the Riot Squad. I don't know how many times. How many different variations of matches she had with the Riot Squad. She needs to get away from the Riot Squad. Just go by herself, be solo, turn heel, feud with Asuka, and go to SmackDown. And hopefully get back up into the Sasha Banks level that you're supposed to be. Okay guys, the only tag team I have moving, but I'm pretty sure WWE is going to move some jobber tag teams over to SmackDown Live. But the tag team I have moving is the Revival. Now, since the Revival have been on Monday Night Raw, they have reached nowhere as good as they were on NXT. I don't know if the entertainment crowd just don't reach to that tag team. They can't relate to that tag team, or they just don't care. But the Revival have been booked crazy on Monday Night Raw, and up to that, they asked for their release out of their contracts, and WWE didn't want them to go, so they threw them a bone by having them win the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. And they were booked horribly after that. They've lost every match besides the one to Ricochet and Alistair Black. And then at WrestleMania, they lost to Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. So the Revival have been booked very, very badly. But they need a breath of fresh air also. So we're going to move them over to SmackDown with the Usos coming to Monday Night Raw. And hopefully, once the New Day and Big E gets healthy, they can do something with the Revival. And they can get something out of the Good Brothers while they're there before they leave. Hopefully WWE just lets them work out the remainder of their contract on live TV, because the tag team division needs help. So we're going to move the Revival over to SmackDown Live and hopefully lead that tag team division with the Hardys. Now this next superstar, I really wanted to be at WrestleMania in a predominant role. But when Charlotte did the thing she did to Asuka, I guess this superstar was nowhere near to be found, but wound up being in the Battle Royal. And I was a little upset about that, because I wanted her to face Asuka at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Live Championship. I thought that would have been a good match, or they would have built a good story for it, since they went with the triple threat of Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda at WrestleMania. And the superstar is Ember Moon. Now, I thought Ember Moon would have had a good match with Asuka. I thought she was hurt, and then next thing I know, she's in the Battle Royal at WrestleMania. So I'm like, WWE, if she was healthy enough to be in this Battle Royal, you telling me you couldn't book a story around her and Asuka for those remaining month and a half or 2 months after it was known that Becky was going to challenge Ronda for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania, and you was going to add Charlotte regardless? Once all the smoke was cleared, you had enough time to put Ember Moon in the ring with Asuka at WrestleMania and build enough story to back it. But with this move, we're going to get that matchup anyway. So WrestleMania is came and gone. So only thing we can do is hopefully WWE book to where she has good stories. What the lights up Asuka and Sasha, if they go better based on my predictions. So I have Ember Moon moving over to SmackDown. Okay guys, I got one question for you guys watching this video. What does WWE stand for? Yes, walk with Elias. I have Elias moving to SmackDown Live, and all his fans from Monday Night Raw are going to be walking with Elias over to SmackDown Live. Now, with this move, you can get Undertaker on SmackDown Live in order to build some ratings. Building up his match with Elias at the Super Showdown in the summer. And with this move, you can put Elias in that Intercontinental Championship mid-card level. Because, with all due respect, if Honky Tonk Man can become Intercontinental Champion, Elias can become Intercontinental Champion. So, I don't care what no one says. Elias is good enough to hold that championship belt. So let's get him on SmackDown Live to where he get enough opportunity and where he can perform his concerts, yeah. But get some opportunity to shine in the ring and get in that mid-card level that he wasn't able to get on Monday Night Raw. So I have Elias coming over to SmackDown. And the next superstar I have coming up from NXT up to the main roster that will be going to SmackDown Live will be a part of the women's division. And this NXT superstar is none other than Candice Lee. Now, people who've been watching NXT probably thinking, what has Candice Lee done in order to get a call up to the main roster? But if you follow her career before she got to NXT, she's well equipped to coming up to the main roster. She's got more experience than some of those women down at NXT. So this is the correct move. You move Candice Lee up to the SmackDown Live roster, and you get some more talent on SmackDown Live in the women's division. Now it's time to come up on some of the juicy picks that I have going up to SmackDown Live, and one wild card. First pick I have is the one and only Ricochet. Now, with Ricochet going up to the main roster, he teamed up with Alistair Black. They teamed up from NXT, won a Dusty Classic, fought the War Raiders at NXT TakeOver New York, had a good match, lost to the Revival via countout, and went up to WrestleMania in a Fatal 4-Way match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Now, after all that's said and done, everybody knows they're going to break up Ricochet and Alistair Black. One of them's going to go to Raw and one of them's going to go to SmackDown. I'm picking Ricochet to go to SmackDown because Finn Balor is going to be on SmackDown, and I believe Ricochet is going to be the first person to feud with Finn Balor over the Intercontinental Championship. So, we're going to have, for my predictions, we're going to have Ricochet move to SmackDown and Alistair Black move to Monday Night Raw. And Ricochet is going to have one hell of an opportunity being on SmackDown Live, because they're going to give you more of a shot, more of a chance to get your character out there. They're going to show you more on TV. You're not going to be crammed up at the top, because with Alistair Black being on Raw, he's going to have to compete with guys like AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, those type of guys that get more exposure than him. That's not saying Alistair Black is not going to have great matches. He's going to have great matches. It's just about whether he can compete with the likes of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins on the entertainment level from the fans. You're going to have real wrestling fans knowing who he is, but the entertainment audience, not everyone's going to know who he is, even though he's been on the main roster for about 2.5 months now, or a month. So, I got Ricochet moving up to SmackDown Live. My last juicy pick for SmackDown Live is none other than the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. Even though Drew McIntyre lost at WrestleMania to Roman Reigns, he's been booked like a monster up until WrestleMania. He beat Dean Ambrose twice, beat Seth Rollins. He destroyed Roman Reigns in their build up to WrestleMania, and he's been on a tear ever since. So, with this move, moving Drew over to SmackDown, you get him away from the last two remaining Shield members. You let him do his thing on SmackDown. You let him tear through the competition, get in that WWE Championship scene, because he will be the world champion sooner rather than later. Maybe SummerSlam. Let him get up in there and feud with Kofi, maybe Daniel Bryan, Ali, anybody, any top tier superstar on SmackDown. Because Drew McIntyre can possibly lead the blue brand. He could be the face of the blue brand. So there's nothing I need to say that hasn't already been said about Drew McIntyre. So I guess Drew McIntyre moving to SmackDown Live and leading that division. And last but not least, my only wild card pick. Now it's been rumored that this guy is going to be moving from Raw to SmackDown. I'm not so much a fan of that move because I don't want him to do what he did on Monday Night Raw for as long as he did on Monday Night Raw. Now this wild card pick is none other than the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Now I don't know if Brock's going back to UFC or not. I doubt it. Brock's getting up in age, man. He probably only has like one and a half or 2 matches left in him, because you only can do UFC for so long. So I think Brock is going to stay in WWE, make his money, fight limited dates, and get paid $500,000 just to be there. Who wouldn't do that? Who would rather get their brains bashed in than work a work match for $500,000? I would do that. So I see Brock coming back to WWE. I just don't know if I like him going to SmackDown Live, because I would not want him to get the WWE Championship and hold it hostage as long as he had held that Universal Championship hostage and made it obsolete. But Brock Lesnar has been on SmackDown since he returned. He has been on SmackDown since 2004. He made an appearance when he was feuding with Randy Orton, but that doesn't count to me. It's been since 2004. And this would be the first time Brock has been on SmackDown as a current superstar since then. So that's the only wild card pick, because it's rumored. Brock Lesnar moving over to SmackDown Live. And with those picks being out the way, let me get to the man. The one that's holding down Raw and SmackDown, and is your undisputed women's champion. None other than the man, Becky Lynch. Now, Becky's been on fire since the summer. I expect her to hold those undisputed titles until SummerSlam, unless the winner of the Money in the Bank cashes in early. I expect her to run through Lacey Evans at the upcoming pay-per-view, whichever one it is. I don't know. I expect her to drop the belts around SummerSlam. Maybe Ronda comes back, beats her for the titles at SummerSlam, but not in a clean way. Maybe like a dirty way. We'll see. But there's nothing that need to be said about Becky Lynch, because she's the man. She's the one holding down both brands. She had 2 titles to speak for herself. She don't need me to speak for her. And that's both Raw and SmackDown predicted. Becky's on top. Everybody else follows. And so, to recap, for Monday Night Raw, we now have the Universal Champion Seth Rollins, the United States Champion Samoa Joe, the Raw Tag Team Champions Riders and Hawkins, Becky Lynch. And on the SmackDown side, for the champions, we have new WWE Champion Kofi Kingston, Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor, SmackDown Tag Team Champions the Hardys, and Becky Lynch. And now the picks for Monday Night Raw, we have Samoa Joe, Luke Harper, the Usos, Naomi, Carmella, Shinsuke Nakamura, Alistair Black, and Kairi Sane. And for the SmackDown side, we have Bobby Lashley, Finn Balor, Sasha Banks, The Revival, Ember Moon, Elias, Drew McIntyre, and the wild card, Brock Lesnar and Ricochet. those will be all of my mainstream picks for the Superstar Shakeup. Let me know in the comments down below if you have anything different, and what's your opinion on some of the guys that I picked to go where. And if I forget some superstars, put them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like down below. And I enjoyed you guys listening to me for half an hour. Hopefully we can get more wrestling content. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later. I'm out.